Hi guys, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. If you haven't already, then please do make sure that you pause this video, that you hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you do get notifications every week when I upload. I am now uploading during the week. I'm aware I'm a day late. I do apologise. However, today we are going to be talking all about my medication for my upcoming round of IVF. In case you hadn't guessed, no, I haven't come on, so I've still not actually started, so I'm now officially 2 days late. So, to be honest, I'm kind of hoping that it now holds off until kind of the weekend, Monday, as I'm going away this weekend, and I know it sounds awful, but I'd quite like a drink. I feel like I need a last blowout before we go crazy all again. So, yeah, fingers crossed. It comes soon, but if it wants to wait until the weekend, that's not a problem. So all my medication got delivered last week. I can't remember what day. I think it was Thursday. So it all got delivered to the house. This time it's a different medication, which I don't know how I feel about. I feel like I'm a little bit more nervous this time as I don't really know what the side effects are going to be like. So I suspect that the side effects are going to be slightly different. I suspect that the way I do it is going to be slightly different. But we'll see. Hopefully it's the change that's needed to give us a positive round, so yeah, we will see. I hope you've all had a really lovely week. I haven't been on since last Tuesday, so a bit of time has passed since then. I've been on and off with work. It's all been a bit mental, if I'm really honest with you. Also did night shifts, absolutely exhausted, really tired. And other than that, I can't really remember what I've done. What have I done? I feel like all my days have just blurred into one and I don't really know what. So I've been to see my grandma. My grandma turned 80 this week. God bless her soul. Love her to pieces. My grandma is like my best friend. So she turned 80 yesterday, which is quite crazy really. Like my nan's still like 60 in my head, but she isn't. She's now 80, and bless her, she looks after my granddad. My granddad's really late stages Alzheimer's, so she spends her life day in, day out just looking after my granddad, and bless her, she never ever moans. She is the most wonderful woman in the entire world, and I just love her to pieces. So happy birthday, Jane. Other than that, I don't really think I've done anything but work. I haven't really got anything to update you on other than the fact that my medication got delivered. I had quite a few messages the other day. I shared a photo on Instagram of when I was in hospital after I'd had my egg collection, and the response seemed to have really surprised me, if I'm honest. I don't understand where the response came from or why the response came, but I gained quite a few followers, and as a result I've gained a fair few subscribers on here. So if you're one of those that have appeared out of nowhere, then hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Amber. I talk a lot, I babble a lot, I say a lot, and that's it really. That is me in a nutshell. I've also decided this week that I'm going to start a new, I don't really want to call it an initiative, I don't really know what the word is, but on Instagram I want to start using a new hashtag. So I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory here before I go on to all my medication and all the rest of it. So as I uploaded a video quite a few weeks ago now, I uploaded a video telling you all about my best friend and how my best friend is pregnant. Now, my best friend is 20 weeks now, and I feel like since we found this news out, our relationship has changed significantly. Not on purpose. I said in my video that I'm aware that this is going to be really hard for her as well as me. But I feel like our relationship has changed because she doesn't know how to be around me. She doesn't know what to tell me, what not to tell me, what is going to upset me and what isn't. And I kind of hit a bit of a wall this week where I felt like, right, enough is enough, because I don't just want to be the infertile friend, and I don't want my best friend to feel like she can't have her friend because I'm in this situation. If this was me and I didn't have my best friend to vent to and cry about all the weird and wonderful things that pregnancy does to you, I'd be quite disheartened. And she has been the most understanding person in the world and has been so considerate of me, but I feel like it's now got to a point where it's almost so much that I'm not in the loop. So we kind of had a big conversation about what we need from each other and just communicated. And I think I've said this 1,000 times before, but the key to infertility is communicating, whether that is with your doctor, your partner, your mum, your brother, your long lost cousin from New Zealand, whatever. just communicate with someone, and if you don't tell people how you feel, things don't change. So that's what I did, as I very much felt like the infertile friend, and it got me thinking about who I am outside of infertility, and if infertility didn't exist and I wasn't in this situation, who am I? So who was I before all of this, and who will I be if this never happens for me? And who am I now? There is more to me than my infertility. My infertility does not define me. I have made, through choice, I have made infertility my life in many different ways, and I'm glad that I've done it. I've done my blog, I do my Instagram, I sit and I do this. I am very vocal about it, hence, you know, meeting the MP, things like that. I shout a lot for a reason, because I don't want people to feel ashamed of it, and yet in doing so I have kind of put myself in this infertility bubble, but now I seem to be at a point where I can't pop, and I don't want to pop it. I want to carry on doing this, I want to carry on doing my blog and all the rest of it, but I also at the same time don't want people to be different around me and everything to revolve around my infertility. I don't want people to text me and feel like every time they talk to me they have to ask about it. I feel like I want people to be open with me, I want people to talk to me, but I don't want them to talk to me about it any more than you would anybody else over any other big thing that was going on in their life. It doesn't need to consume you. So it got me thinking, and it got me thinking about who I was outside of this infertility, and remembering the girl that I was before that, and how I'm a huge personality with a really big mouth, how I love to read, all these different things that I am that isn't just infertile. I'm kind, I'm bloody determined, I'm a lot of things, some not so good, some good. That's my alarm. What is that alarm for? More supplements. I'm a lot of things. Some people would describe me as some not very nice things, as I'm sure. Some people would describe me as some wonderful things, but I am a lot of things that is not just infertile. So what I want to do is I want to start a bit of a thing on Instagram where people are realising that, and people are accepting who they are outside of this, and they aren't feeling like they're losing themselves to this. So because I think it's really important to remember who we are, I want everybody to start hashtagging their photos. I know a lot of people with TTC accounts like to kind of keep their faces off it. That's fine. Anything that you post that relates to you, I think every now and again it is important to post something that isn't directly to do with the infertility, and just remember that you are more than just an infertile. So I want everybody to start using the hashtag not just an infertile, and we can just kind of try and reconnect with ourselves, because I think that is a really important thing to do when you're going through IVF, when you're dealing with infertility, to keep your feet grounded and remember that there is more to life. And it's really hard when something completely consumes you, but there is more to life than this infertility, and we need to start dealing with that, and we need to start accepting who we are outside of that, and finding things to love about ourselves that don't just revolve around the feelings that we get with infertility, such as embarrassment and shame and guilt. All those horrible negative feelings that come with it, we now need to start finding the positive. So if you are watching these videos, you are on Instagram, please start hashtagging your photos, hashtag not just an infertile, because you aren't, you're more than that. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to go get my medication. It's going to be a bit like an unboxing video, but we're not actually unboxing because, like I say, they got delivered last week and they need to sit in the fridge. So I've kind of had to already unbox them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get them and we're going to sit and talk through them. I'm going to try and tell you what each one does, although I'm not entirely sure, so we'll just kind of take it as it comes. But this is the next big bit on my journey, the medication. So sooner rather than later, I'm going to be jabbing these things into my stomach. So go grab yourself, I did it again, I said, go grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself comfy, and we'll go through all of my medication. Hello, I'm back. So in the end, I just brought my fridge drawer up with me. I couldn't be bothered to go through it and put it all back in a box to make this look all fancy for you. So I've just kind of brought my fridge drawer. So there we go, there's all my medication in there. So when this got delivered, I went on a bit of a rampage and I fully went major Mrs. Hinch on my fridge and de-sterilised the entire thing. De-sterilised? What on earth is that? Sterilised my entire fridge at 5 o'clock in the morning before I went to work. So, this time I don't seem to have as much medication as last time. I do, but it kind of comes differently. Last time I was on benfola and Cetrotide and it all came in different individual boxes, whereas this time I've got MENOPUR, I think is how you say it. I'm going to call it MENOPUR. It's a bit of a weird word, isn't it? I'm probably saying it really wrong, so if I am, can you drop me a comment and tell me how to actually say it, because I sound like a bit of a knob if I'm getting it wrong. So, this is the MENOPUR. MENOPUR. I'm not sure if that's going to focus. We can try our best. Oh, there you go. So you can see that there. Hopefully that's not got my address on it anywhere. So there we go. This is the MENOPUR. So I've got 10 dosages of this. In this I've got 10 150 unit powders and solvents for solution. So I actually have to mix this one. Last time it was in a pen because it was benfola and not MENOPUR. So this includes a follicle stimulating hormone and a luteinizing hormone, if I've said that right as well. So the reason they've put me on this is because they aren't entirely sure whether or not my eggs had anything to do with why it failed. So if they put me on this time, this is also, rather than just, oh my god, I can't get in the box. Rather than just, what's the word? Rather than just stimulating my eggs, it's meant to help with the quality. I'm not really sure how that works. I should have maybe asked that question. Oh my god, I can't get into this box. Maybe I should have asked that question, but I didn't, so here we are. But that's basically what it is. I try not to ask too many questions when it comes to certain things because I feel like I end up going into overdrive. Oh my god, seriously, I can't get into this box. I've made such a pig's ear of that. Hope it seals okay afterwards. Ah, there we go, yeah. Right, let's have a look, shall we? Oh, bugger. Ah, right, okay, so you can see there. So I've got the powder at the top, powder at the bottom, sorry, and the liquid at the top. Okay, so there's 10 in there, but I don't know where the needles are, so I'm presuming they're in a different box. But those ones I have to do between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock every night, so I will do that from day 2 of my cycle. So I have to do that every evening between 6 and 8 o'clock, so that is the same time that I did the benfola, so that's fine, but this time, like I say, I have to mix it. So you put the liquid kind of in the syringe, you then put it into the powder, mix it around waiting for it to dissolve, and then you draw it back, change the needle, and in the stomach it goes. So when it does come to day 1, I will film all that for you, day 2 sorry, but day 1 of injecting, I will film all that for you so you can see how I do that. I had a lady message me the other day about whether or not I would do a video on my fear of needles and how I've kind of coped with the injections. Obviously this time around, because it's my second time round, I think it will be a lot easier. Last time, after the first 1 or 2, I was fine and I was doing them on trains, I was doing it in the office at work, so it's fine and you do kind of get over that. So I will do a video about actually injecting when I'm doing it. So that's the MENOPUR, so that is the thing that I will use, like I say, to get the follicles actually stimulating and maturing the eggs and all the rest of it. So that is the first step. And then when I have been for my day 6 scan, I will be moving on to Cetrotide. So there you go, that is the Cetrotide. So I will reseal that. If you pull it out, I'm not going to open the whole thing, I will show you it from behind. And so you can see in that I've got alcohol wipes around the back here somewhere. I've got the powder here, the syringey thing there with the 2 needles, and the liquid is already in the syringe on this one, so I can just push that in with one of the needles and change the needles over and do the full shebang, mix it all about and put it in. Now this one I was on last time. This is kind of from day 6 to 11 that I'm on this. This one I don't like so much. It stings, it makes you look like you've got a little rash on your belly, and I just didn't really get on with it. I feel like this is where my bloating really started, but I'm quite glad I've got it again because I feel like I have got a bit of normality with it. Obviously because I've changed my medication, I didn't want everything to be different and feel like I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Now, I don't really know what Cetrotide does. I think it matures the eggs, but I'm going to just double check that for you. Let's have a look. What does Cetrotide do? Yeah, so it blocks the hormones that causes the eggs to be released from the ovaries and is used to prevent premature ovulation during controlled ovarian stimulation. So that's all it is really, it just stops you ovulating. So that's good. Yeah, so that's obviously what that's for. So that, I've got 0.25 milligrams, unless they increase it, which I think is unlikely. They didn't last time, so I can't see them doing it again. That I have to do every morning from day 6 to 11. So I've got 5 of those. No, I haven't. I've got day 6. I've got 6 of those. Why have I got 6? Ah, I've got 6 just in case, I think. Okay, well, I don't know. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So that's that. And then I have this. So this is Ovitrel. I'm hoping you can see it there. Might help if I held it the right way around. So this is Ovitrel, so this is what I will be using to trigger. Let me see if I can get into this one, but Ovitrel is possibly the easiest one out of all the ones I've got here. This again is what I used last time. But this is the trigger pen. So this, I believe, gets me ready for ovulation. Yeah, so there you go. It is literally just a great big pen with a tiny little needle that I just need to put on the end, twist it to the amount and push it in. So that I will do 2 days before egg collection. So if my egg collection is at, I don't know, stupid o'clock in the morning, I'll do that. I think it's about 36 hours before, I can't remember. But it's in the evening, 2 days before. So if I trigger on the Friday night, my egg collection will be the Sunday morning. And we kind of go from there. So yeah, the trigger, I do believe, let me just double check. I just want to make sure that everything I'm telling you is right. Yeah, there you go. So the trigger, so Ovitrel, is given to cause the release of eggs from the ovary in women who have problems with ovulation. The eggs will be collected 36 to 40 hours after the Ovitrel injection. So yeah, that's right, it kind of forces the ovulation. So they are the injections. So I have 10 days of those, providing everything is going how it should be, otherwise it may get extended. So last time I think it got extended for another 2 days, and I think I was injecting for 12 days in total. And then, oh beautiful. I've got a great big bag. I wonder what's in here. It's like Christmas, isn't it? Christmas for the infertiles. What's in here? Ah, beautiful. So, right, okay, so here's my sharp spin. So you do get a lovely, bright, multicoloured sharp spin to put all your bits and bobs in. But here we go. So, here I've got the little needles that I use to shove into me, and then somewhere I should have, yeah, here we go, the really big, really large mixing needles, which I am so glad I don't need to put into me. I don't know if you can see them there, but they are absolutely ginormous, thick and horrible. So I have, how many of them do I have? 4, 5, 10, 15. So they've given me 15 mixing needles and 20, oh no, I've got 20 of each needle. Presume that's in case it goes wrong, because I haven't got 20 bits and bobs. And then that's the syringe I used to mix it all, I presume. I don't know, when I went they didn't really have, they didn't have any of the MENOPUR, whatever it's bloody called. They didn't have any of that to show me how to use it, so I am kind of winging this. And also relying very much on YouTube to figure out what I'm doing. So I think that's quite straightforward. It's basically the same as Cetrotide, but rather than it all coming in one box, it comes in 2 different boxes. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. I think there's a lady I follow on here, her name's Nick. I think her YouTube account is Good Luck Nick. She's definitely worth definitely worth the subscription. But she, I think, was on MENOPUR. So I'm going to head over to her channel, as I'm pretty sure she did a video on what it is and how to use it. So I'm going to re-familiarise myself with that. If it wasn't that medication, then I've just made myself look like a twat and promoted her channel anyway. But yeah, I definitely recommend you give her a follow and a subscription. And then, so once I've had my egg collection, you move on to the progesterone. This is minging, I'm not gonna lie. So it's actually called Utrogestan, I believe. Yeah, there you go, Utrogestan vaginal applicators. Lovely. So these are just the applicators, so I'll show you one of these, it's not an issue. So there you go, you can see that it is just like, the only way I can describe it is like a really long egg cup. It's like really thin there, and then it broadens out a little bit here, and you have a tiny little popper at the end, so it's like a tampon applicator, and you just pull it out, but then when you push it back in, you click, and it just kind of pops it up there, which is lovely. It's really quite a non-event when you do it. I think I'd bigged myself up for it to be this real big thing, and it's really not at all. But what they are is, if I can get into them, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into these, this is a bit of a problem. I do have quite a bit of this left over, so that is one really good thing about how crap my last round went, in the sense that I've got loads left over. Yeah, here we go. So you can see here, they're like little tablets. Again, like I say, it's a real non-event. You just pop them on the applicator, put them up as far as they will go, and then just plop. Probably shouldn't make the sound of like a poo. It shouldn't fall out, definitely shouldn't make a plop sound. I'm so gross, I'm so sorry. So you just kind of give it a bit of that, it flies up into your cervix, and there it stays. Problem is, it melts, and it's a bit gross, and I definitely recommend getting panty liners for this non-event, because it's pretty minging. And I have no idea how anybody... I don't know, there we go. I have no idea how anybody can do this without panty liners. It's really, really gross. So it does literally just melt, and obviously all the excess you get coming out, and then you'll go to the toilet and you'll look in the toilet and think, oh, what the hell is that? And it is all the excess of the tablet, obviously coming off once it has soaked up all the goodness. It's really gross, but that is kind of the pregnancy hormone. It's the hormone that your body produces when you are pregnant. Obviously, because this is all artificial, your body doesn't produce that hormone, and therefore you're putting that in. That you do for straight away after egg collection. You might not get those ones, some people get other ones. I know girls who have got some that they have to put up their bottoms. That you don't put up your bum, but it's still not pleasant. So you get those, and you do them from egg collection. So I'll be doing that from my egg collection onwards 3 times a day, and you do that for the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. So if it doesn't work, you obviously come off them. If it does work, you carry them on to 12 weeks, gradually decreasing. But after, I think it's after your transfer, once you've run out of those, you have got to then pay for them yourself. On top of that, I don't think they're particularly cheap, but they're also not, you know, bankrupt worthy. I think it costs you probably around £130 for it all, which is still a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge amount compared to what you will have paid to get this far in the first place. But that's it. So that's the medication I'm on. I'm still taking my supplements, so I take the Well Woman Pregnant Care Trying to Conceive. I take those, and will do throughout the whole process until I've had my transfer, and then I might change to the pregnancy ones just to kind of be on the safe side. I also take extra vitamin D. I take CoQ10, which my husband also takes for his morphology, but that is supposed to help with your egg quality, so I take that as well. And I also, on top of that, take my Overcare, which I'm going to do a little video on, not yet. I'm going to do it in a couple of months, because I was actually gifted this to try for a few months. I got given 3 months supply to try and kind of feed back to you all on what it's like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's wonderful if it's crap. So I'm going to tell you all about it, but that is something I take as well. I had a look at all the ingredients, and they're all things really that I can take leading up to IVF and during pregnancy. So they are all weird and wonderful things, like everything is during IVF, that you're shoving into your body. But all in all, that is my medication. So I'm feeling a bit nervous. It's all kind of feeling a bit more real now. I still don't feel like it's really happening, but it is kind of sinking in that any moment now I could be injecting myself. But when I do, I'll show you all how I do it, how I get on with it, all the side effects. I ain't holding nothing back, kids. You're gonna see it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why do I do these things? I do these things and then I watch the videos back and I think, why did I just do that? Like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Such a weirdo. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. But that's it. So that's all my medication. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please make sure that you give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a little comment and do make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Also, please head over to my Instagram and give me a follow on there. It's at Amber in a Teacup. I'm on there every day. I don't leave stories alone. I'm constantly on there. So yeah, hi. That's me in your face. Don't do things by halves. But that's it. So I better go put these all back in the fridge. They are supposed to survive. I think it's something like, I don't know, a long time out in the fridge. That'll be fine. But yeah, I need to put it back in. So that is that. I hope you all have a lovely week and I will see you next Tuesday. I don't know what my next video will be. It all depends on where I am, whether my cycle has started or not. But either way, whatever it is, I'll see you next Tuesday. So have a good week. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.